This is a tale of something that happened long ago, perhaps when your great-grandfather was still a child. In those days, rations were short, and the mad queen and her castle walked about in her bedclothes all loose and indecent, speaking to empty air and searching the castle halls for something only she could see, or perhaps for someone she used to be. The nobles called it madness, but peasants whispered other stories. The winters cut deep then, and the summers offered little respite. Folk gathered around communal fires, sharing what little they had, and telling tales to distract from their hunger. These stories circled back to the queen, how she had once ruled with fairness, how something had changed in her, and how the land suffered with her fractured mind. Back then, I skirted the edge of the woods near our cottage on tiptoes, daring myself to step beyond the preset borders into the unknown. I was a child, but not one who knew how to follow rules, alas. My little rebellions caused my mother no end of trouble, and me no end to her scoldings. Yet I lacked the willpower to stop myself. The forest loomed dark and inviting, its scent of pine sap and decaying leaves tugging at something primal within me. Moss-covered stones marked the boundary between safety and wilderness, between the known world and whatever mysteries lay beyond. The soft squelch of mud beneath my bare feet made each forbidden step both terrifying and thrilling. Our cottage stood alone at the forest's edge, a kitchen and one room of weathered stone and thatch that leaked when it rained. Father had built it before the fever took him 5 winters past. Mother maintained it as best she could, patching holes with mud and straw, cursing the wind that found every crack. I suppose we children did our best to destroy it through our antics and play, however unknowingly. One can hardly expect Dom and me to keep from chasing Flora through our small quarters with a well-chosen spider, just to disrupt her typical prim ways. It gave us far too much pleasure. However, our mum might shriek at us to stop. The cottage smelled of wood smoke and onions, of the herbs Mother hung from the rafters to dry, of the sweat and breath of 4 bodies living in such close quarters. At night, the thatch above us rustled with mice, and in summer, the walls hummed with insects seeking shelter. Back then, they said a witch lived in the forest who spoke to mushrooms and knew the secrets of time. She was young as spring in one telling, old as winter in another, but always with a sharp tongue that reminded those who met her of their scolding mothers. Common folk knew to stay clear of the woods, especially at night, because that was when spiritual forces were best at work. Children dared each other to venture past the tree line, to bring back a leaf or a stone as proof of their courage. I went further than the others, drawn by something I couldn't name, a familiarity that made no sense, a calling I felt in my bones.